this is a third technical violation, so you could get up to 15 days in jail on this. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
The allegation is that you failed to appear for drug testing on January 15th, that you tested positive for alcohol this morning at the court with a .051 when you came in at 8:10, and then you had a .048 on at 8:13 a.m. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Wow. You can almost feel the tension in the room already. The judge is laying out violation after violation, and the defendant just quietly says yes, like she already knows how bad this looks. This isn't just a simple mistake. It's a pattern the court has seen before, and that sets the stage for what's coming.
Mr. Gazicki, how's your plan?
Those charges, Ms. Watkins going to plead guilty, and we could address the court prior to sentencing.
Okay. So, ma'am, to the allegation that you failed to appear for drug testing on January 15th, how do you plead?
Guilty.
To the allegation that you came in this morning and tested positive on a PBT at the courthouse at 8:10 a.m. with a .051, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Okay. Mr. Gazicki?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm going to accept the pleas.
Okay. I explained to Ms. Watkins these are serious, violations. Any violation is serious. There's a recommendation of 5 days in jail. Your Honor, I don't, personally, I don't think that's really going to do, well, let me put it this way, it's going to cause more harm than good. Ms. Watkins, for
This part hits differently. We've got mental health issues. An 11-year-old child, multiple jobs, life is clearly overwhelming her. And when people are drowning emotionally, bad decisions can snowball fast. It doesn't excuse drinking, especially when driving is involved, but you can see why she's spiraling.
one expressed to me just the few hours that she's been in jail today has terrified her, that she never wants to be in that situation again. I understand with the other violations, she was not exposed to any kind of incarceration, let alone 5 days. At the moment right now, her main issue is she's got an 11-year-old son that's in school till 3 o'clock. There's no other arrangements for the child to be picked up. Also, Ms. Watkins has 2 part-time jobs. She's starting another part-time job in the morning, where she makes about $14 an hour. And any kind of incarceration obviously is going to have an effect on the new job that she's just starting, and possibly on the one that she has now. She's trying her best, Your Honor. She does have doctor's appointment on Monday that she reports. She has to see her psychiatrist, a psychiatrist and a counselor, I believe. Is that correct?
Therapist.
And here's where the judge snaps into full responsibility mode. Driving to court with alcohol in your system while you're already on probation for drunk driving, that's a hard thing for any judge to overlook. You can hear genuine disbelief in his voice. Not anger, but shock that someone would risk so much.
She has an issue of depression and anxiety. She has not had medication for those illnesses, and foolishly, she took some alcohol this morning, trying to calm her anxiety.
How'd she get to court today?
How'd you get to court today?
I drove. I live like two minutes down the street.
Yeah, that's not a good move, but it's still not under the .08, and there's no allegation that it impaired her driving. But it's not a wise choice.
Not at all.
Okay. We're just asking the court possibly the sentence could be held in abeyance. Let her see her psychiatrist and therapist on Monday and see where that plays out.
Anything else?
No, Your Honor.
All right. This is her second use violation. This is the second positive alcohol screen she's had. I thought she should be in treatment court from the get, and I can't recall what it was that led her to.
This background is brutal. A crash at 3 times the legal limit, earlier positive tests, missed screenings. It's clear she's battling something deeper than just drinking. Probation is supposed to help people stay on track, but right now she's slipping fast.
Not be in treatment court, it might have been that she wasn't interested in the program, or the time constraints were too much, but it's certainly clear to me that she needs increased supervision because she's not doing well. I couldn't imagine getting in a drunk driving accident, getting in a car accident while drunk driving. She said a 0.2 something. It was a 0.24, 0.24 or 0.29, something very high. It was 3 times the legal limit. You got in a crash, right? Then you get put on probation. You've already been caught drinking once and admitted to it. You've had another violation for a missed test, and now here we are. It's really concerning to me, Ms. Watkins, that you would drive a motor vehicle to a court to PBT test. I mean, it's the lack of judgment is so, it's startling, to be honest with you. It's shocking to me. And it says, and I think, Ms. Watkins, you know this, you've been in front of me a few times. Have I always treated you fairly?
Yes.
Like, I'm not disrespectful to you. I'm not, you know, I have expectations, so I have court orders. You've got to follow. And I can't not impose a sanction, you know, on a violation like this. I mean, in a lot of, if it would have been your 4th violation, you probably would have just done 90 days in jail. But I'm confined by the law. I can't do that. But your next one, I can. And if it's a use violation, if you're not taking advantage of the resources.
This is honestly one of the most emotional judge speeches I've seen. He's not attacking her. He's disappointed. He's trying to wake her up. And you can see it in his tone. He wants her to get better, but he's running out of options
That we're providing you, and you're not interested in trying to live your life in a different way that doesn't put you in front of a judge, and maybe it's best you just do your 90 and move on. We're going to extend probation 3 months. All other terms of probation will be completed. I can't see any. I think Kara's recommendation, it could have been for 15. She's only asking for 5. I am adopting the recommendation. She drove a vehicle to court with a 0.05 to see a probation officer while she's on probation for drunk driving. The recommendation of probation will be followed. She's to serve 5 days of jail forthwith.
Could she have a startup date tomorrow, Your Honor, to take arrangements for her child at school?
She can make phone calls.
And this is where everything collapses. After being given a second chance, literally the day before, she shows up again with alcohol in her system. At this point, it's not just a mistake. It's a total breakdown of judgment.
So the allegation is that you came in this morning and you tested positive on a PBT at the courthouse on February 24th at 10:20 a.m. With a 0.078, and then at 10:30 a.m. with a 0.076, and that you admitted to drinking the night of February 1st of 2024. How do you plead to those allegations?
Guilty.
And you understand that if you enter a plea of guilty, that you're waiving your hearing rights if I accept this plea. You understand that? There will be no hearing of any kind.
Yes.
Okay. And you still want me to accept that plea?
Yes.
And for the record, if I can order my client for.
Please.
And Ms. Watkins, now what was the last test, Judge?
10:30 a.m.
You understand, Ms. Watkins, that it's one issue. So there's a chance you would still register some alcohol in your system if you were to take another PBT test. Just based on the timing, that's a possibility. You understand that?
Mm-hmm. Is that a yes?
And you and I have had an opportunity to talk, correct?
Yes.
And were you comfortable with understanding what we discussed?
Yes.
Not necessarily what we discussed that you were comfortable with, but the fact that we communicated fine, you understood what we were talking about.
Yes.
And do you feel that you are in any way impaired by your use of alcohol?
No.
Thank you.
It's honestly heartbreaking to hear her attorney fighting this hard for treatment instead of jail. You can tell he genuinely believes she wants help, and maybe she really does. But wanting help and being ready for it are two very different things. This moment shows the court desperately trying to find a path that actually saves her life.
I'm going to accept the plea as knowing and voluntarily given. Mr. Fanto, anything on behalf of your client?
Judge, I appreciate the recommendation. However, number one, the I think given her lack of history, the recommendation is considerably high. I appreciate the fact that she's tested positive. She clearly needs help, and she acknowledges that. Unfortunately, it looks like we're a month or so short of being able to put her into treatment court at this point. I would ask the court to consider the intensive probation program for her after she serves her 5 days. The court always has the option of finishing any kind of jail time that it has available to it. However, I think it's more important that we look at somebody who clearly needs help, acknowledging that she needs help. And I think that based on conversations yesterday, Ms. Grasso was setting up therapy and things of that nature. That was the plan.
Yeah, she was set in the therapy already. She's had her intake. That was to keep moving forward.
And so I would ask the court to consider that the court still has that option available to it in terms of the remaining jail days. But I think it's more important for Ms. Watkins.
This final moment is rough. The judge is emotional, frustrated, and honestly heartbroken. You can hear it. He tried leniency, understanding, compassion, and none of it worked. And that's why he goes all the way to 90 days. It's not punishment for the sake of punishment. It's the court saying, we've run out of chances. A powerful and painful ending.
Violation is absolutely appalling and egregious. And reason doesn't seem to work with Miss Watkins. She was here yesterday because she drove into the court with a .05. And I mean, her defense was, well, it wasn't that far of a drive. I was courteous enough and kind enough, because she had a kid, to not immediately take her into custody. Instead, I advised her she could go pick her kid up from school, get the kid home, come up with her child home, come up with some alternative childcare arrangement so she could serve her few days on that violation. And I told her, if you don't come back tomorrow, you're going to get all the time. You're going to get all of it because it'll be your 4th violation. So she came back today. She drunk drove to the court while on probation. I mean, it's a .78. I mean,
I didn't drive today. I'm sorry.
Okay.
how'd you get here?
I got dropped off.
You came up to the court with a .78 the day after you just got in trouble for coming up to the court with a .05. So you literally 2 days in a row. And I don't know, I can't even begin to understand what you must have been thinking. And I think it's clear to all of us that you have a substance use problem, right? But I can't fix everybody if they don't want to be fixed. And after, yesterday you came out from sitting in the back for a couple hours and you had seen the light and you were going to behave and we weren't going to see you again. You were ready to follow the straight and narrow. And instead, not even 24 hours later, you came into the court drunk. I mean, it's so appalling to me that there's nothing else that's appropriate. 30 days is not appropriate. You're going to do 90 days with credit for the days you've served, terminate probation without improvement, and fines and costs will be waived.